All right, this is Roger. A little bit of Emmy Lou Harris in the background. But full disclosure here, the last video I posted, which was Nomad build part 1 in Germany, was actually about a year ago. I took the video, but I posted it last week, so I'm catching up right now. So I've actually worked on this thing for a solid year, but I have not been posting my videos. And here we go. So this is a 1955 Nomad, and the LS3 motor is already installed. That's out of the crashed 36 Plymouth that happened in 6th August 2017. Got the motor in there, or the little electric fan motor, a couple other things. But anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about. Brakes are in. What's really cool, I've done some really cool stuff here. These are the seats that were actually in the 1936 Plymouth. If you see those videos, I kind of like took them out of that destroyed car and moved them into this one. But here's something I want to show you here. This is pretty cool. I'll get to this a little bit later on, but this is actually my dash display. And if I turn my ignition here, I don't know if you can see that or not, turn here, the lights turn on down here. And if I hit this button right here, which is the rear power window, which is now this thing right here, my dashboard actually comes out. And on the end of this video, I'll show you how I actually did that. So I'll push this little button down here. There we go. And no thanks. So there's my video. And then once I hook up my, this is, I think it's called Retro Classics. Don't know where they're actually out of, but I'll be able to hit my buttons here. I've got no power hooked up right now because I haven't got any of the installation done. But this is what it's done. And let me show you something here. Hit the back button here. Back button one more time. And if I hit the OBT2 link tool right here, some really cool stuff happens. If you remember this from my 1936 Plymouth, I can actually hit the dashboard. And I've got my dashboard display. Now this is all kind of wonky right now, but I can actually move this the way I want to. Now I don't want the big dashboard when I'm driving down the road, but I can actually take this thing and keep it about right here. That's the RPM gauge, or I can put a navigation system in here, or I can watch videos through the stereo system. Now, what I haven't done yet is showing you all this cool stuff down here. I've got a 1987 Monte Carlo tilt column in here, and this actually works on the return on the auxiliary. Now you can see I'm also working on my easy wiring harness here. That's actually probably about the 5th one I've put in right now. And I've got my pedal in here already. So that is from the LS3 motor. I don't know if you can see it there because it's kind of dark in here. And what's really cool here is, check this out. This is my seat. Electric. The seat, even the headrest comes up. And what's really cool here is you can actually tilt this thing back all the way to the back. And I think you've seen this before. Same thing in my 36 Plymouth, but you can actually sleep in this car right now. And we've got my little display there. Now, the cool thing is when you turn your ignition on right here and you hit this display, actually comes down and completely disappears. Now I actually painted this dash with what's called 2K paint, so 2-component paint. So got a pretty good shine on this thing. But what's important here, and you'll see in the videos later on, is how I actually got that little camber right there, that rounding, if you will. A lot of stuff to do. The dash is not perfect, but it's good enough for 7,000 grit paper. All right, so let me move around the back here. Cut the ignition off. So back here, 55 Nomad. Cut this light off. So eventually use amplifier, same kind of system that I had in the 36 Plymouth. Cut the ignition back on, and then turn this back up. So I put one door panel in, and there's a company right down the road here, probably about 2, 3, 4 kilometers away, in a place called Erlendsee, that actually does upholstery. So this time, instead of in the back of the Plymouth, this is a 55 Nomad, I've actually got my subwoofers installed right here, and got my carpet in here. That's your typical carpet you get from Summit Racing. And what I've done here, as you can see, I've got my Nomad in here, which isn't Nomad, it's called Acorn, which is a German, I wouldn't say generic brand, but it's actually a lot cheaper. And I've got my cables running right here to the back. And I'm going to put my amplifiers right around this area right here. Those are the two amplifiers from Mac Audio. Always use Mac Audio products. And let me see when we flip out here. What's cool here is this is all complete right now. I've got my tracks, my wiring running all the way to the back. And I know this looks like a mess right now, but I've got my wiring harness, and I've done like 4 or 5 of these, so I'm not really worried about it. This is easy wiring harness. They're about 165 bucks a pop, and pretty decent wiring harness, because it tells you every 4 or 5 inches exactly where the thing goes. So this is the piece right here that goes inside here to the wiring harness and to the dashboard. But like I said, this actually looks pretty decent. All right, so what we got now? These are actually the door panels that go on the back, so you can actually adjust the, actually these things right here. These right here, pretty complicated system. And to get to them, you've actually got to have these panels. So everything I've done in these old cars is I put a lot of Nomad in here, or this type of stuff, and it stops all the rattling and crap going on in the car. But hey, let me take a quick break here and show you some cool stuff outside. So I'm an American living in Germany, and I love to have my Christmas lights. Now it's raining out here, so I'm going to run here for just a second. There's the pool. Got lights around there. And check this out. There are my 2 giant snowmen. Let me cruise back in here. Hopefully, I got to check to make sure I don't have any water drops on here. Plymouth, or the Plymouth is over here. Sad, sad, sad. Happened. There's a Honda Dax. Dax, translated into German, is Dachs. And I picked it up about a year ago. Really, really cool. And these things are actually big bucks. What's important here is the kilometers on it. Less than 2,000 kilometers, which is about 1,600 miles. So maybe a little money maker here. And then Gil and I went to the Veterama, which is like the turkey run of Germany. And I picked up this polishing wheel. And it's 380 volts. And this thing will take your arm off if you're not careful. But anyway. This right here came from Grafenwehr. This is old army stuff, and they were throwing it away. So there's like 5 more down here. Every time I go down here, I pick one up, I paint them, put my carpet in it. What a cool drawer. And then you've seen this stuff before back here. Got myself a tiller, the old motors, the old tractor with the 3.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton. 3 chainsaws because they were cheap. Picked up a couple of carburetor intake manifolds in Moultrie, Georgia in 2018 it was. And these will go on motors that I pulled out of either USA or Germany. Anyway, so here, check this out. Here's my list. And I get to take my little pin right here. Shake it. This is the Nomad list. Rear end complete, order measure, mount front seats, weld in rear panel, cut panels, glass roof, maybe not, mount speakers, I've actually completed that one. Buy install carpet, I've done that one. Door panels are actually complete. I think I've showed you those. Rear panels are actually done. Rear storage compartment's another story. Anyway, cool beans. The Nomad is working out. Like I said, the carpet is in. Motor is installed. Electric fan is mounted. And I'm just gonna run the wiring harness right now. I think that's about it. So, oh shit, one more time. So door panels are done. These are the front door panels right here. So these guys are proud of their work, so this costs a little bit of change right here. This is about $110 a chunk. So 2 speakers in the front door. And the way this works out here is I've got my electric windows installed. I've still got to trim this out right here to make it even, but I can actually unbolt it right here, unbolt it right here, and then the window, the actual speaker goes right here. Same thing for the front. And the way when you close the door, the actual speaker is in the rear, which is right here. And let me show you how that works. I've actually got the electric windows already hooked up. So power is on. Cool beans. So that's with a window delete. There's no vent window right here, so I got a big giant window that opens up when I want to. Looks pretty good. Hey, funny story on that one is when I was actually installing this thing, I had the power supply hooked to 6 volts, and I thought this thing was actually not tracking. All right, so check it out. I've got my big thick metal cut out, and that's going to give me my roundness that I'm looking for, like this, and I can actually follow this out. I've kept this just a little bit too long right now. I haven't welded it yet, in case this piece right here has to be longer, but I got to figure it out. But basically, it's looking pretty good. Played with this thing for about 3 hours a day.
Look at the vehicle, you look at Corvette Stingray if it says it, and you have the elements that are done right.
And then when it's completely done, it stops. And then what I've done here, hold on, let me pause this thing for a second. What I've done right here is I've got these little bitty tray retainers right here, and that's the solution I came up with, and it works pretty good. Went ahead and polished them all out, and then if you take this off right here, it's going to be on Velcro right back here, and then this is my entire surface I have right here that I can Velcro this thing. Now what the hard part about this was I built this entire thing so I can take it apart and slide this out the top. Remember, everything below here is going to be under the dash. Everything right here, this is going to be welded to the dash once I cut this square piece out right here. And it'll be complete so I can have my bolts and everything on the bottom where this piece right here gets welded to. But pretty simple. This will, like I said, be Velcroed on here. And then you reach over here, hit the little toggle switch, and it starts going shut down. And it stops. So, reporting live from Nuremberg, Germany, this is Roger Stegall, Action News 26. Take care, bye-bye. All right, dashboard hacking 101. Also, versuchen wir es mal. Alright, so far so good. Den Rest muss ich noch rausschneiden. Take care. Bye bye.